Morning campers, Charlie from Atlanta here, aka the Corporate Gypsy. Suited up, loaded up, ready to hit out on the MABDR. I'm leaving out of Atlanta and I had to spend quite a bit of time trying to figure out a route because Asheville is closed and the region around it because of the flooding. Found out last night from the folks that administer the MABDR site and route that Damascus is closed. This is section 1. I am south or west of Damascus, and this is some of the damage. I came up to Skull Gap, Mount Rogers, just to get a view because it looks like the sun's coming out and the clouds are breaking. This is section 1, and this is coming from Damascus, Highway 54, which you can't get through. The sheriff told me that Highway 54 south of Damascus, which runs along the river, is completely closed. The river overflowed and obviously flooded the road with crap. And I don't know if it's washed away or certainly is impassable with all the goo. But anyway, this is Skull's Gap, and this is where you turn. Yeah, you can get under that, but this is just an indication of what the rest of it's going to look like. And so our decision, thanks to all the advice from all the folks that live here and the administrators, was to skip it. And I'm really happy we did because we'd probably be turning around fairly soon. All right, campers, Charlie from Atlanta here, aka the Corporate Gypsy. We are finally about to roll. We are packing the bikes up. Our kickstand up time was 9 o'clock. Looks like we're going to be on time, which is shocking given all the issues we've had. All the boys are here. We've got Rodney on the right from Texas. We've got Derek from North Carolina, California. And we've got Frank from Cleveland. We all met at Overland Expo East and at Austin Moto Adventures, where we did training. This is going to be interesting. We're slabbing it to Moorefield, West Virginia, which is the start of Section 4. And that's where we're headed today. So it's about 300 miles. Probably going to get in 6 o'clock or so tonight. So anyway, stick around. Thanks for watching. Given that Helene had hit just 2 days before we left on October 2nd from Abingdon, we were in constant contact with Mark Axelberg and Annette Stout of the MABDR team. Big shout out to them for the constant intel they were feeding back to us on conditions all through the route. Based on our conversations with them, we decided to skip sections 1 through 3, which was very disappointing because that's a really nice part of the route. But we skipped that section and went straight to Moorefield, but we used Reaver to design the route. If you look at the map, the red line is the line that Reaver had developed for us, and it was superb. All kinds of little 2-lane roads, twisties all through the back country, and it was very enjoyable. Still disappointing to miss 1 through 3, but hey, we'll have to come back. We stopped in Bland. We're never going to make it. 300 miles. We've done 60 miles in about 2 hours. We got behind a crew cutting trees, so we had to wait about 15 minutes. Roads are great. This is a fantastic ride, but we're going to have to figure out how to cut it short because we're never going to make it. It was kind of cool to come around the corner and see the Mountain Lake Lodge where Dirty Dancing was filmed. That also was the start of some off-road behind the back of the hotel, and it was slick and rutted up. And Frank, who's on his first off-road trip, dropped his bike in the ditch. And much to his disgust, he also found out that we actually have to take pictures of him in the ditch before we come and help him pick the bike back up. Nice hotel, but we're convinced this was a nursing home before it became a hotel. So it's day 2. Yesterday was 285 miles in 10 hours. We used Reaver to plot the most interesting route possible, and it was spectacular. But it was small backlane roads. You couldn't make any time. Lots of twisties. It was beautiful. Got behind a couple of VDOT trucks who were clearing limbs.
so it took a long time. Yesterday was a grind, but it was pretty. Today we start actually the MABDR, and we start on section 4. We're here in Moorfield, and it's about mid-50s. You can see the fog behind me, and I don't know what today's going to be like, but think it's predominantly small 2-lane roads.
The Horn School features prominently on the MABDR. Schoolhouse was built in the early 1800s and taught all the local kids until about 1952 when it was decommissioned. Ernest and Betty inherited the property and have been restoring it ever since. The building's full of local items reflective of the area. That pot-bellied stove is original, and it's hard to imagine that as the only heat source in the harsh winter. According to Ernest and Betty, it was the BDR folks that put them on the map, and now all the motorcycle guys coming through stop and visit, and they're very grateful for this. We had stopped for lunch, and during my travels I always post on Facebook on the MABDR site, and this gentleman walked in. He had been watching us on the Facebook site, saw our motorcycles, and pulled in and joined us for lunch. That was a lot of fun. I apologize, I don't remember his name, but it was a lot of fun. It's pretty back in here.
I mean, it is back in the woods.
Wow. Finally some sun. We know, brain fart. BDR ride right. We saw it. Pretty cool bridge, supposedly the oldest toll bridge in the United States, dating from the 1700s, I believe. 50 cents, no credit cards, no change. Oh, they do take credit cards. How modern. Hey there. Good sir. 50 cents? Thank you very much. How old is this bridge? Oh wow, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, I got everything wrong. This is pretty interesting. This is still section 4. We're not too far from Harper's Ferry, but there's some really obscure back roads all through this thing. It's been fun. End of day 2 in Quality Inn, Harper's Ferry. Problem with the mics, I'm going to overdub, but we're rolling in about 10 minutes. We're heading to Fowler's Hollow to camp, which is up in Pennsylvania. And as I said, we're going to roll in about 10 minutes. So this is the Potomac, and we're crossing into Virginia, Loudoun County to be specific, if that means anything. Looks like some sunshine. That would be nice. So this haze and fog won't move off. Today is day something. I left Atlanta 7 days ago. We base camped in a hotel for a bunch of days to wait out the weather. So we are headed to Fletcher Hollow State Park in Pennsylvania, which is where we're going to camp tonight. So we're camping the next 3 nights before we ultimately end the trip in Corning. I have no idea what state I'm in. Amish country, which is a first for me. What's also a first is finding out that there's no alcohol, so no beer. So here's our campsite. Derek, Rodney, Frank splitting firewood. Frank got the primo location. He's over there behind those trees. So in addition to finding out the county was dry, we found out the campsites in Pennsylvania are dry. So that was a bit of a bummer. Also, drones are not allowed. But speaking to the couple that ran the campsite, I promised that I would send the drone straight up, film our campsite, and straight down. That's all I wanted. Wasn't interested in getting everybody else into the picture. So they said okay, and they allowed me to do it. So that's the end of day 4. It's been a hell of an adventure. We're having a great time. Look forward to what's coming. Stay tuned.